That's Christy.
And that's Leslie.
And we're going indie.
Except you're not.
Well, hybrid
Well, you
or
are.
something.
You are
Yes,
going indie, but you're actually going hybrid.
hybrid, which is, that's great. That's for another episode. We'll do hybrid another episode, which technically you already
Yes,
are hybrid.
I technically already am. In the much more traditional sense of like I have had traditional publishing and then have switched into indie and moved into indie, which is normally the way hybrid goes. um, but you are doing something separate, which is why we have not had a few episodes in a while,
Yes.
because your time got all eaten up by a rather surprise traditional contract.
Yes. Not only was it a surprise traditional contract, it's also an expedited traditional contract.
Yes.
So where normally you would have a year to do some of the things, I'm doing them all in under 2 months, basically. And even this morning, I thought I was going to have at least 2 more days between edits, and I got the new list of edits this morning. So it has been a whirlwind, and it means every time. So we were talking about timing. We're going to talk about timing today, people, and the flexibility of indie publishing. But I am, it's been like, I can stop. I can say, I'm just going to press pause on this and go and do this. So it's, but it still meant that I was planning to write the third book in the series that I'm publishing, indie publishing, in a couple of months. And that did not happen.
So
That did not
you
happen.
are you're at a stage in your first indie book that it's still going to be able to come out in May. Like you, that
Yeah.
has not been impacted by this contract. However, the timing of kind of what you were planning down the road has now
Right.
been bumped.
Bumped
So
and bumped some more.
bumped and bumped some more. Yes, because this contract doesn't only change right now. It means you're going to have to deal with launching and marketing this book when it comes out in January, next January. Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
so that is bumping your timeline, your indie timeline down the track a little bit. So for me, there has been some personal life stuff that has happened over the last month, which made me kind of glad you didn't have time to record either. But that has bumped my book now. I had been hoping for May. It's going to be August just because life stuff has happened and taken me away from being able to do some work. And when I was traditional, when life stuff would happen, I could say, okay, well, I've lost that writing time, but the manuscript is due, let's just say it was due April 5th. Okay. If the manuscript was due April 5th, I could say, all right, we're putting life on hold. I'm not doing laundry. Everything is quick prep food, fend for yourselves, filling the freezer, like buying all the quick stuff. I'm like, we are heads down. I am nothing but a writing machine for the next, 2.5 weeks. I could say that because then when I turned that manuscript in, I could pause and say, okay, let me go back and catch up on life, get everything back resituated, and keep moving. But as an indie, I don't have that option because once I turn the manuscript in, guess what? I'm the next person. I turned it into me.
Right.
I'm,
Exactly the
I'm the
problem.
next person. So when something happens that, in our case, because technically speaking, we both write part time. It is
Yeah.
our job. It is the job we have, but we are also stay at home parents. We have children and we have those things that crop up. So when something comes to take away some of your writing and working time, um, you have to get that back from somewhere, either by bumping things down the timeline or by, wiggling more life stuff around. So, which is not always an option.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I also think that so I have the next thing in my indie writing is going to be a novella, and I wanted to put a little part that the first couple, pages in the back of my book that I'm launching in May. So a little what do you call that? teaser. Yeah, a teaser. But I was like, I haven't had this really edited. I mean, I've edited it once, but I haven't had it professionally edited. So I sent it all to my editor and I was like, hey, can you just get the first 8 pages done real quick? And then you can finish editing. Like, I don't even want to see the rest of it till July, June. I don't care. I don't want to see it until then. I'm not going to look at it. But she was like, yeah, I can do that. But, and so it's just like you're saying there, then when it comes back, it's back on me. And to
Right.
send everything comes back on me. I'm lucky right now. My husband is not he's at home. He's not working outside of the home right now. So I've made him my manager. I've given him a book that I've been trying to read on publishing for like 3 months. I was like, just read this book and figure it out. And then one thing we're gonna talk about, we did an episode on, but then it got messed up. ISBNs. I was like, you got to figure out this ISBN and this Library of Congress stuff. You got to figure it out. And he was like,
Yeah.
okay. And so he's like doing it for me, which is great. But he's not. I mean, he could at any moment be gone from my help. So,
Yes, yes, you might lose your assistant. So that's the other thing is my my lovely assistant that I love so very dearly has decided she wants her own writing career to be the focus. What's up with that? No, I absolutely fully support Hannah's decision, like all joking aside. Like, but
absolutely.
um she did really want to she made the decision that she wanted to be putting more effort and more time into her writing career, which is absolutely valid. So I don't have an assistant anymore. This is the busy time at my husband's work. So he's actually working more hours and has gone a little bit more right now because this is their busy season. And so like when life stuff happens, it's like there's just one me.
Yeah.
So,
And it
the
and in
time to
indie, you're doing
balance.
it all. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one of the blessings and curses of I think indie publishing is that you can move that timeline. You do have the power to make that timeline whatever you need it to be. Until you actually, book book people and book dates and things. You can book editors and give yourself some external deadlines and things like that. But at the end of the day, everything is flexible, which
Yeah.
is good and bad.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that I'm going to do in the future is have my book more ready to publish before I decide on a launch date. I think I'm going to
I'm
feel try to feel
trying to get
yeah, I
yeah.
think that's one of the things I'm realizing. I thought that I would be able to get my cover back faster, and that's kind of holding me up right now. And I thought I could, like, my edits were going to come at a certain time, or that I was going to be faster. My edits actually came really fast. It was me that was too slow getting them done. Oh, and then my computer broke. That
Yes.
my computer was away from me for 6 weeks. That took the
Yeah.
huge thing. So yeah, but I think that if I'd had things a little further along, then I wouldn't be stressing here at the end. But I know I can still do it. It's just like I wish I had given myself a little more space.
Yes. And I think that that is one of the things about when you choose to go indie is there is a testing time of figuring out your scheduling, how
Mhm.
your timeline, your pattern. So that's what I'm going to say. Like, really, honestly, I mean, like, I'm a couple years in, and you're just getting started, but I'm finding that it's a slow thing because a book cycle is long. From
Yes.
conception to publication, even if you put all of it together like an indie does without the big gaps that you have in traditional timelines, that's still a long timeline. And if you're trying to tweak what your schedule is, it takes a while for that to roll through. Um, so if you have been indie a while and you like, I have a timeline down that works for me, like it's beautiful. I have got it. Get in the comments and tell us your secrets because I'm still figuring it out.
Yes, thank you. We will appreciate that.
So blessing and curse of indie publishing is that you can move things when you need to, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know, but it is the thing and it's the reality. So my book has moved.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fantastic and it's all gonna be better then anyway. So there we
It
go.
is, it is, which is part of the thing is like I was like, oh, I really got to change this. Like I really need to change this, and that's just going to add more work to it, and that means it just has to move. So, but you're going to get a better book for it in August.
Yay. Yay.